Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Jessica. Today I'm going to talk about how my gray hair changed the way people treat me. I'm going to start by talking about how I was treated before I transitioned to gray hair, and then I'll finish off by sharing how I was treated after I transitioned to gray hair. Before I get started, I just want to share that I'm going to talk about how strangers treated me and not my family and friends. My family and friends have always been supportive. They've always treated me like an equal. They've never talked down to me. They've never ignored me. I get so much love and attention from my family and friends, and I feel so lucky to have them in my life. So this has nothing to do with them. I am a very small person. I am 5'2". I am small boned and very quiet most of the time. I don't speak up too much unless it has to do with my kids, I'll speak up. But most times I'm pretty quiet. I look kind of timid. It's easy to forget that I'm there. My husband, on the other hand, is 6 foot tall. He walks with his head up held high. He radiates confidence. And he's the life of the party. He's not like a big party animal, but people like to be around him because of the confidence that he radiates. And I'm a little bit of the opposite. I just kind of stayed on my own to the side. So I know that a lot of the treatment that strangers have given me in the past is because how they see me. A small, timid, shy woman. And my husband is the one to talk to because he's standing tall and he's confident. Before I transitioned to gray hair, most times I was ignored. I felt like a shadow. I felt like they were treating me like the shadow and not as an equal. I always felt like I was being treated as my husband's shadow. Whenever we would go shopping, whether it be car shopping or house shopping or went to a restaurant, he was the one that they always went to. And most times, not all the time, but most times, I would be ignored. So the salesperson would come to my husband and introduce themselves and forget to introduce themselves to me. And it always bothered me. In the beginning, I just kept quiet. I was very young. I was 19 when I got married and my husband was a little older. And so it was okay because I really didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what questions to ask. Like, for example, we're buying a car. All I know is that's a nice car. I like it. He knew all the questions to ask. So I let him handle that and never spoke up. And this went on for many, many years. But as I got older and wiser, I wanted to be part of the conversation. And a lot of times I was still left out. I was treated as the tag-along or as his shadow. And it really, really bothered both of us to the point where we would not purchase from that salesperson. This did not happen all the time. We did have some good salespeople who treated me as an equal, but it wasn't often. It was very rare. And those were the salespeople that we purchased from. Those were the salespeople we went back to purchase from. And those were the salespeople who we recommended to our family and friends. So within the last few years, I've had to become a little more aggressive. So when a salesperson would come to my husband and introduce himself or herself to him and forget about me, I would just stick my hand out and say, "I'm Jessica." So I really had to kind of throw myself into the conversation. Sometimes the salesperson would ask him if he had questions, but wouldn't ask me. So I'd be like, I have questions. And it was very bothersome. I really don't think that they were doing it on purpose. I just wasn't noticeable. I was just kind of there, standing there, kind of like on the side. I was so quiet, and they probably never even noticed until I waved my arms out and said, "Hey, what about me?" And it wasn't just with my husband either. It was like when I was with other people. There were times when I was with my son, who is 24 right now, but he was much younger before I transitioned. And he would be the one that the salespeople would go to and ask if he needed help. I'm obviously his mother. Look way older than him. And he was the one that they would go to. I would have to say, I'm his mom. I'm actually the one here to ask questions about this item that I would like to purchase for my son. And that was very bothersome. It wasn't until after I fully transitioned to gray hair that the way people treated me completely changed. I'm just amazed at the difference, and that's why I wanted to make this video, because it's just like night and day. Now that I have completely transitioned to gray hair, I'm no longer seen as a shadow. I'm not the tag along anymore. It's so strange. I think it has to do with how I carry myself now. Once I transitioned to gray hair, my confidence went way up. I walk with my head up high alongside my husband now. We walk in, with confidence. I look people in the eye. I introduce myself, like, hey, my name's Jessica. We're here to look at these cars, or we're here to look at this furniture. And before I was just kind of like, slouched back, kind of quiet. And now it's like, I'm radiating confidence like my husband does. There have been times when I'm like kind of shy, or I don't want to speak up about something, and then I think about my hair and I think, in the past, when I had 1 or 2 gray hairs sticking up amongst my dyed hair, and I'd be so embarrassed, like, oh my gosh. And I'd pluck them out. I'd go and pluck out the little single gray hairs that spring up. And I would be so embarrassed, hoping that nobody saw that. And now I'm walking around with a head full of gray hair, and I think, I'm letting the world see this. How can I be embarrassed to ask about something I'm going to purchase when I'm not even a teeny bit embarrassed about my gray hair? A lot of people are embarrassed, right, for their gray hair to show. And so that kind of gives me that extra push to go and ask questions and look people in the eye, and I feel confident, I feel good. So I know that has a lot to do with it. So now when I'm out with my husband, they introduce themselves to both of us. And when I'm out alone, I'm amazed at how many self people will come up to me and wish me a good morning and ask me, is there anything you need? So strange. I don't know. It's got to be the hair, because that wasn't happening when I was dyeing my hair. Just the other day I was at Lowe's looking at some garden furniture, and every single salesperson that passed by me wished me a good morning and asked me if I needed any help. And in the past, that would not have happened. No way, that would not have happened. I definitely know that it all started from this. This is where it started from. This is what gave me the confidence. In the end, you have to truly feel that confidence inside of you. And the only way for that to come out from me was by transitioning to gray hair. People can feel that and they see that. So now they treat me differently. I have definitely seen a huge difference. I mean, even strangers will come and talk to me. I've made more friends now than I did before. And I've had a few friends that I've known for years, even before I transitioned to gray hair. And they told me that I just seemed like somebody who wasn't approachable. Like, I don't want to go talk to her. She just doesn't seem like she wants to talk to anybody. And it wasn't that I didn't want to talk to anybody. It was because I was too shy to put myself out there. And now that I have the gray hair, and like I said, I think back like, wow, I'm not embarrassed to show this. Why should I be embarrassed to ask a question about something I'm going to purchase? Why should I be embarrassed about complimenting somebody on their hair or their skin or their outfit? There's nothing to be embarrassed about anymore, because my biggest embarrassment, in my mind at least, was my hair, which in the end I realized that it was just silly of me to be embarrassed at the color of my hair. This is something I was born with. This is a gift my mother and my father gave me. How can I be embarrassed of something that I inherited or something that was given to me? So now my thinking is completely changed. I'm a lot more positive and, like I said, a lot more confident. That radiates towards people, and now they gravitate towards me. I just wanted to be treated like my husband's equal. I wanted to be treated like their equal instead of somebody below them. Like, a lot of times I would get talked down to, and now people talk to me like an equal. They ask me questions. They want my advice on stuff. In the end, it's all about how you carry yourself. That has been my gray hair transition experience, and how things have changed for me and how it's changed my life. If you have had an experience similar to mine, or you have a story that you want to share, a gray hair transition story, Please share it down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!